Jai Hind students, welcome to the physics class. I hope all of you are fine at your home. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic. That topic is refraction of light through a glass prism. All of you know about refraction. Refraction means the phenomenon of change in the path of the light as it enters from one medium to other medium. Light, all of us know, form of energy which enables us to see the object. Now glass prism. What is a glass prism? All of you have seen the glass prism. You might have done several experiments on glass prism in grade 7, grade 8. So definitely you are well aware of the glass prism. Let me ask a simple question about the glass prism. How many rectangular surfaces does the glass prism has? You might be thinking that it is a triangular. How it can have a rectangular surfaces? Let me show you a glass prism. I don't have a glass prism right now, but with the help of the pages I will be able to tell you about how many rectangular surfaces the glass prism have. Look, this is the glass prism that I have made with the pages. This is a opaque, so it can't be regarded as a glass prism, but it can act as just a simple. What is the shape of the glass prism? So you can look the glass prism. This is first rectangular surface. This is the second, and this one is the third rectangular surface. And what this is the say? This is triangular surface, and this is the triangular surface. So how many triangular surfaces a glass prism is having? 2. And how many rectangular? The glass prism is having 3 rectangular surfaces. So there are 2 triangular surfaces a glass prism is having, and 3 rectangular surfaces a glass prism is having, right? Now let us do refraction of the light through a glass prism. Let us say this is a glass prism. So whenever we have to do experiment with the glass prism, how we place the glass prism? We place the glass prism on the board like this, so that it is having the triangular surface. So that it is having triangular. This one is triangular. So we place the glass prism on a wooden board like this, so that we are having the triangular base. Now let's name this glass prism A, B, C. We are going to do refraction of light through a glass prism. So let me draw a ray of light. So let us say this is the ray of light, right? And let us say C, D is the incident ray. Why incident ray? Because this ray is falling on the surface AB, right? So what will happen to this ray? And what will happen to this ray? I have to draw a normal. Here is air. Outside this air, and inside it is glass. Air is rarer medium and the glass is denser medium. So what will happen to this? So let me draw a normal. So let us say this is the normal. This is the normal, right? So what will happen to this if it is the normal? So what will happen to this? Will this ray move straight? No. Will this ray move away from normal? Will this ray move towards normal? And we know that when ray of light moves from rarer medium to denser medium, it moves towards the normal. So let us say this ray of light, it is moving towards the normal. So this ray of light, it moves towards the normal. Why normal? Here there is normal and this is the ray. If I say it is moving away from the normal, then what will happen? This ray, it will go this side. Now, let us say DE is the refracted ray, and this ray, it is inside the glass. When this ray, it reaches the surface AC, it will move out from the glass. So where it will go? Let me check it out where it will go. If there were glass everywhere, this ray might have followed this path. But now glass is up to AC. So what will happen after AC? Let's check it out. Here glass, and here we are having air. Glass is a denser medium and air is a rarer medium. So what will happen to this? This ray of light, it will move away from normal. In this case, it moved towards normal. When it is moving from glass to air, it will move away from normal. Let me tell you how it moves away from normal. First of all, I have to draw angle of 90 degree. So let me draw carefully angle of the 90 degree. Let us say this is the angle of 90 degree. This angle of 90 degree, it is normal. Alright? So what will happen to this ray? No, this is refracted ray path of, and this is normal. If it moves towards normal, it might have moved there. Since it is moving away from normal, so what will happen? It will move in this way. So this ray, it has moved away from normal. Now DE, here DE is called refracted ray, and this EF is called the transmitted ray. So I am repeating again. CD is incident ray and DE is refracted ray. EF is the transmitted ray. Can you tell me what is the angle of incidence here? What is the angle of incidence? Angle between incident ray and normal. So this is the say angle of incidence. And what is the angle of refraction? Angle between normal and refracted ray. This is one R1, and let us say this one, this is refracted ray, and again this is normal. Let us say this angle is R2. And what is the angle of emergence? This is normal, and this is the say angle of emergence. Angle of incidence, angle of emergence, and R1 or R2, you can say these are the angles which are formed in the glass. So I have taken them as R1 and R2. Although all the angles are associated with refraction, but I have named I, R1, R2 and E. Now, if I produce transmitted ray in backward direction, what will happen? It will meet incident ray and at this point, let us say this point is G. Now this angle is called the angle of deviation. Let us say I am representing the angle of deviation by small d. So this angle is the say angle of deviation, where D is the say angle of deviation. So what is the angle of deviation? Angle of deviation is the angle between the directions of incident ray and emergent ray. What is the direction of emergent ray? This one is the direction of emergent ray. And what is the direction of incident ray? This one is the direction of incident ray. And between them, this angle is the say angle of deviation. So what is angle of deviation? It is the angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray. Now in your syllabus, on what factors does the angle of deviation depends? What are the factors on which angle of deviation depends? So let me discuss these factors one by one. Number one, Angle of deviation depends on the refractive index of the material of the glass prism. How it depends? So let us discuss. So factors affecting angle of deviation. Let us discuss one by one. The first factor is angle of deviation. It increase in refractive index. More is the refractive index, more will be the say angle of deviation. So let us say this is the prism. Let us say these pages are the transparent, these sides are the you can assume them, and I fill this with the liquid whose refractive index is more than that of the glass. So what will happen? In this case you will find that angle of deviation will increase. And if I fill these with the water, and if I compare with the glass, you will find that angle of deviation will decrease, because refractive index of water is less than that of the refractive index of glass. So what will happen? In that case you will find that angle of deviation will decrease. So angle of deviation, it decreases with the glass, with the refractive index. Second point is that all of you are aware there is a VIBGYOR. All of you know what is VIBGYOR? These are the colors of the white light. When the light it passes through the prism. So what happens in this case? Let me tell you one thing, and I have told you before the starting of this chapter, that if I move from violet to the red, wavelength increases. So what does it mean? It means that wavelength of violet is less than wavelength of indigo, which is less than the wavelength of blue, which is less than the wavelength of yellow, which is less than the wavelength of orange, and it is less than the say wavelength of the red color. Alright? So you can say red is having maximum wavelength and violet is having minimum wavelength. So angle of deviation, it decreases with increase in wavelength. When wavelength increase, angle of deviation will decrease. So what does it mean? It means that wavelength of red is more than the wavelength of violet, but the angle of deviation for red, it is less than the angle of deviation for violet. This point is very, very, very important. It is being asked in your exams. Third point is, all of you know, angle of prism plus angle of deviation is equal to angle of incidence plus angle of emergence. This sum is constant, so if I will increase angle A, then angle delta will, in plus 2 I use this, so angle D, it will also decrease. So you can say delta increases with decrease in angle of deviation. Right? If I decrease angle of prism, A is angle of prism. If I decrease angle of prism, angle of deviation will increase. Right? So you can say angle of deviation, it increases with decrease in the angle of deviation. And fourth one is angle of incidence. How it depends on angle of incidence. There is a very interesting relationship between the angle of incidence and the angle of deviation. Let me first draw the graph. This is the graph, and this is the say angle of deviation, and here I am plotting angle of incidence. So what happens? First of all, angle of deviation, it decreases. This angle of deviation, first it decreases with angle of incidence, and then angle of deviation becomes minimum, and after that it starts increasing. So what happens? Angle of deviation, it decreases with increase in angle of incidence, and then angle of till angle of deviation becomes minimum, and after that angle of deviation increases with increase in angle of incidence. So this is how it depends on the angle of the incidence. So right, so in this way it depends on the angle of incidence in this way, right? So next is, so let's do the questions which can be asked in your board examination. So let's discuss one by one on the basis of this topic. The question which usually come in your exams is this, that I am going to tell you. Question is that, let us say we are having two lights. One light is, let us say, red, and another one is the green light. One is red, another one is the say green light. Both these lights are allowed to pass through a glass prism. What is the glass prism? At same angle of incidence, in which case deviation is more. Which ray will be deviated more? What your answer should be? My answer should be green light deviates more than red. Why? It is because wavelength of green light is less than the wavelength of red light, and I can say that angle of deviation for green is more than the angle of deviation for the red, right? Let's do one more question, right? Simple question. What I am given, let us say you are given two prisms. One is glass, another one is water, having identical dimensions. Identical dimension means, let us say this one is of water, then I am having identical glass prism which is having same angle of prism If this is water, let us say this is glass. These angles are same. And these lengths are also same. If I say this, this is also same. Now my question is that if blue light falls at same angle of incidence, in which case deviation is more. Water or glass prism? Can you reply? Think. In which case? In which case deviation will be more? Okay, I'm giving you a half minute. Let me check. Very simple. Answer is, tell me the option. Option A, water prism. Option B, glass prism. Option C, equal in both cases. Option D, none of these. Can you give the answer to me? The answer is, what could be answer? A, B, C, or D? But also give me reason. Answer in this case is glass prism. Why glass prism? The reason is that for glass prism, refractive index is more, so angle of deviation is also more. So you can say deviation for the glass prism is more than that of the water prism, because refractive index of glass is 1.5 and refractive index of water is 1.33. that you have also done in the numericals also. So this was about that. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.